What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rojo from A Convict's Perspective. I'm right here with the man, Mr. Sundown. And today we're going to talk about some of the influential, old school, original members of both the NF and the MA. From his point of view, he did time with these guys. And what better person to describe it than someone who was there and actually seen what these gentlemen did with themselves? So, I don't know, man. A lot of people want to know about Tibbs from the NF. And a lot of people want to know who the real hitters were from the MA.
Huh? Uh, uh, well, let's talk about Tibbs. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Um, Tibbs, James Morado. Jimmy Morado. I remember Tibbs when he first came to prison. He was a radical kind of guy, very intelligent. Very intelligent. And he used to rob banks. And of course, he was a murderer. But what I liked about him, what me and him kicked it on, was the bank robberies, because I used to love to rob banks. And what's funny about Tibbs, he used to brag about that he did bank robberies with his daughter. His daughter was like 2 years old. And he would leave her in the car while he ran in and did the bank robbery and come out. And he said, because nobody's going to be looking for a bank robber with a little 2-year-old girl. It actually made kind of sense that I used to think, man, that's kind of crazy. But he was smart. I like Jimmy. We became friends. We could see that he was potential. You know, I raised my hand for him. Quite a few people raised their hands for him. Everybody liked Tibbs. Tibbs was sharp, man. I remember in what was it, Soledad, when he made his bones. He was out there. I was there, and him and Hobo. It was him and Hobo, and I forget the other two guys, but they went out to the yards, and they were all on 4 yards, and they got off all at one time. And that might have been the day that Jimmy was getting shot with the shotguns. But they put work in. They went out there on them yards. The Sureños, mainly there were Sureños out there on them yards. A lot of Sureños, and they were not ready for some real NFs to drive up. And Hobo and Tibbs, and I forget who the other two guys were that went out. But anyway, so all 4 yards rocked that day. They were getting off. Jimmy got off. Tibbs got off. He was in. That was his bloodletting, and he was in already, but that was his bloodletting.
That's when he got his first kill.
Yeah, Tibbs was a good dude, man. I got nothing. We'll never have nothing bad to say about Tibbs. When it came time for the peace, he was in charge. And it was easy to make him and Pinky actually. And that's another one. Pinky is a good guy. He was actually under me when I was a squad leader. These were good guys. These were die-hard brothers, man. It's like I said in my book. I said in my book when I don't know who's read my book, but that when they told them, "Hey, thanks a lot. See you guys later. Hold these guys in respect, but there's no more." I said then in my book, "Hey, if you guys think these guys are going to say thank you for your service and we hold you in respect, and that's it, you guys are crazy. There's no way these brothers are going to lay down. They're going to go get work in. They're going to put work in, and now you see what you got. It's taken off. They got 16 yards in the feds. And if you've seen pictures inside there, them guys are spreading like wildfire. And I told that's like I said in my book. You guys are crazy if you think they're going to just lay down.
They'll never. A chance.
Yeah, you'll never lay down. Not Tibbs.
Yeah, you raised your hand for Tibbs, and 20 years later, Tibbs raised his hand for me. So.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing. I've never heard nobody say anything bad about the man either. Only 100% positive. Nobody's ever had one bad thing to say about Tibbs.
Or Pinky.
Or Pinky, especially. Yeah, I just did a profile on Pinky the other day, and unfortunately, I didn't know him well. Like I don't even know Tibbs well, man. We were locked up for a couple years together, but you don't really get to know somebody, really know them, unless you're their cellie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pinky, especially in the hole.
Yeah, Pinky was a good soldier, man. I knew him as a good soldier. He was a good soldier. He was with the business, Tibbs, you knew Tibbs was marked for leadership. He was going to rise. You know, never saw Pinky rising, but he did. You know, as you guys know, me and Pinky got into it on the yard. You were wrong when you said that it was Hobo was the first one ever shot with the Mini 14 at the end of the yard. It was me.
Right. I corrected that later. Yeah, I knew that. I just had a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, I'm the one that got shot.
Right. No, I knew that. He had just told me that too. And
Yeah.
for some reason, my tongue came out wrong.
Yeah, and everybody says, you know, like I went out to the yard that day, and it was Pinky and Ricky. Ricky was from Chino. And I thought the day it came over to our side, you know, so I was all happy to see him, you know. And I walked over there. I was the first one off our tier, and they were already on the yard. And I walked over there and shook hands with them, embraced them, you know. And you guys over here with us now, stuff like that. And then it got quiet, right? I was like, oh my God. I said, nah, come on, guys. And it goes down, you know, we got to do what we got to do. And I'm like, no, man, come on, no, please, no, not on my yard, come on, man. And we got to do what we got to do. So I went to Fig, and I told Fig, get behind me. You know, I said, get behind me, man. I'm tired of this crap. You know, I'm tired of it. That's it. You know, so I took my belt off and commenced to whooping.
Whooping on who?
On Pinky and Ricky. So the gun tower, man, they blow the whistle, they fire a warning shot. You know, we don't stop, you know. And then, boom, I'm doing a somersault. You know,
where'd you get hit?
I got hit in the leg, came out my foot. You know, the guy's right above me. You know what I mean? Now, this is what's crazy. Is the same guard. The good thing about it is he wrote it up that I was saving Fig's life. So that saved me. Anyway, the same guard, the very next week, an AB is making a move on the same yard, and he kills the AB. You know, in the same situation, except this time he kills the guy with the Mini 14. It could have been me. You know? But anyway, he goes out on stress. You know, what do you call it? Yeah. Not going to work no more. State's going to pay me. You know, so... yeah, as soon as I did a somersault, everybody got out. Like, shit, they're firing.
I got one more question to ask you about a gentleman from the past. Is Bobble?
Yeah.
What do you know about Bobble, man? A lot of people don't know a lot about him, myself included.
Bobble was very intelligent. A lot of people don't know that about Bobble. You know, he was really intelligent. I remember he used to say that he used to love to read the Playboy magazine.
For the articles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he said that this is the heartthrob of the United States, right? He says, there's so much knowledge in here, it's not even funny. But not for the pictures, it was, you know, for the articles and stuff like that. But Bobble was very intelligent. And, you know, he had to make some hard decisions, you know. I wouldn't have wanted to, well, eventually I had to. But, you know, in our beginning, we couldn't have become what we became if it had not been for Bobble. You know? So you got to give him that. You know, no matter whatever else you do, you got to give Bobble the fact that the NF became what the NF became. And it was under Bobble, you know, and DR, you know. DR played his role, but we had other captains too, you know, and good lieutenants and captains and stuff like that. But it was under Bobble's leadership that we grew. And once we grew, that's when the snakes moved in. You know what I mean? And that's when the Civil War jumped. You know, that's when the steel went. They went to steal the NF, and the Civil War jumped.
So where is Bobble originally from, though?
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
So he ran the San Diego regiment.
He lived down there.
Okay.
You know, he lived in San Diego. He was originally from Santa Barbara. His family, his actor's family, mother was from Santa Barbara. And he ended up living in San Diego. And he ran the regiment in San Diego. But for the while that he was out there. Because the power in the NF, you have to, excuse me, I got the hiccups. You got to be inside. The power would always remain inside the prison walls. So when Bobble got out, he was in a hurry to get back in. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the power had to be wherever in the Western General was. Like you used to say in the Constitution, the old Constitution, wherever in the Western General is, that's headquarters. You know what I mean? So wherever Bobble was headquarters. You know, like they turned it to say that Pelican Bay was headquarters. Well, that's not the way it was in the old days. It was wherever the general was, that was headquarters. So when he was out, there was like rumblings about, you know, it's time to pick a new general because the power has to stay behind the walls. So Bobble went and robbed a taxi cab driver just to, hey, take me in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he wanted to go back. Yeah. Yeah.
What other influential members from that time era that had a lot to do with the building of the organization?
Oh my God, you know, there's so many that are gone. Macaron, you know, Macaron doesn't get a lot of credit, you know, but he was like the education lieutenant, you know.
Stockton, right?
Yeah, Stockton, Macaron from Robert Navarone from Stockton. You know, he was very, very influential in the growing because of the education. You know what I mean? You know, he was in charge of the education, and without his leadership there in the education, you know, it was a very important part. He played an important part. Big, you know, Casper. There are guys like Casper out of Salinas, Cricket, all these guys, man. Certain guys, you know, it's like Pistol Pete, Brown Bob.
Pistol P, is that the one from Fresno?
I don't know where Pistol Pete. It was from outside of Fresno, one of them little cities outside of Fresno. Forget what those little cities are around there. Not actually from Fresno, but one of them little cities there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pistol Pete. The heck was Pablo? The hell was Pablo's last name? He was a Puerto Rican. You know what's funny is that there was like Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and whites and Indians and everything else. We had a mixture of everything, you know? And that was our strength. You know, it was the mixture that was our strength. You know?
Tell us about the sombrero, the emblem.
About that,
Yeah, to be honest with you,
Wasn't it a Filipino guy that
yeah, I don't know who it was that came up with that design, but it was like you couldn't put that tattoo on you unless you had a couple kills. You know, in the old days, you know, you couldn't put that on. You know, not just anybody could put that tattoo on them. You know, and Wedo Duran. I want to give a shout out to Wedo Duran, Big Wedo Duran. You know, he's still around. That's another one that's still around.
Fresno?
No, right here in Hayward. He follows you guys. I always see him on your guys' comments.
Oh, I know, I've seen the name.
Big Wedo Duran.
Well, what's up, Big Wedo Duran?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, give him a shout out. Hey, brother, you know, shoot them threes. But one of the best basketball players I ever seen. You know, between him and Boots, man, I would hate to live on the difference. You know, that guy had that 3-pointer. Oh, he nailed it every time. You know.
Let me
But that was Bobble's boy.
Bobble's boy.
Yeah.
So who were the most influential MA members at that time?
My MM members I know are like Ache, you know, and Joe Morgan, you know, Pegleg. Those are the era I go back to. That era. I go back to the 70s and the 80s with them. There's a whole bunch of them.
They had you guys separated, kind of, right?
No, we were separated, but you know, like we were together too. Like, you know, for example, like remember I told you about this guy Mundo. You got to give him his. You got to give Mundo his, man. Mundo was a hog, man. You know, he was a soldier. He put his work in. You know. What would they do? Remember I told you about how they would rotate us from prison to prison? When you catch a case in one prison, you go to the other prison,
Yeah.
the top 4. You know, that's how we got at each other. You know what I mean? It was 4A in Folsom. I couldn't remember which one it was. Anyway, it was Owing and Soledad, 4A in Folsom, ADSEG in San Quentin, and K-Wing and Tracy. But and like today they have Corcoran shoe. You know how they turn Corcoran shoe. You get a shoe case, you go to Corcoran. Well, back then they would rotate us around like that, and that's how we got access at each other. And the police would pop you out for tier exercise. You know what I mean? You better be ready for tier exercise, brother. You know what I mean? You were going to you was getting busy. You know what I mean? They were going to rack your door and two of your enemies. You know what I mean? So you better be ready. You know, and that's just the way they did it. That's how we got at each other. And then me, the police hated me because I was knocking police out like it was a thing to do. I beat a cop up every other day, you know what I mean? So it was always getting tier exercise. I got a lot of tier exercise, you know. But I learned, you know, you can lay in your cell and be afraid all night and die. Or you can use that fear to make you angry and get busy cutting a piece and get ready. You know, and when that door racks, you don't wait. You run. You run to the battle. You know, it throws them off every time. You know what I mean? You know, they're still sitting there planning how they're going to attack you. Oh my God!
Trying to build up their courage.
Yeah, you guys come running at 90 miles an hour, you know, just.
Who was you guys' most hated enemy at that time? Or no matter where you guys were at, you guys had to go at it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The AB2, EME and the AB, there was no real difference. It was, you know, the EME. I remember we put 5 brothers on this one guy. You know, this one EME drives up Lencho. His name was Lencho. He drives up to Tracy, and we're told back then. That's when I was undercover, right? And they said, "Hey, we're all on red alert, man. We got an EME drove up, and everybody's on red alert. So we got like 300 brothers in Tracy, right?" And I'm like, everybody's on red alert for one guy. And this guy, he tripped me out. He's walking around talking about, look, you guy. I mean, just really just with it. You know what I mean? He's crazy. He didn't care. He's talking back to everybody, spitting at people. You know, real disrespectful. I was like, man. And everybody's like, we're on red alert for one guy. I'm like, why don't we just kill him? You know what I mean? We're all over here, you know, paranoid of one guy. You know, it looks like a JCAT to me. Anyway, put 5 guys on him, on the yard. 5 guys. This guy got stabbed over 105 times and lived. Because he did the cucaracha. You know what I mean? He was on his back kicking and flailing and shit, never gave up. You know what I mean? And he lived. We called it the cucaracha. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. And the 5 guys that were trying to stab him stabbed each other more than they stabbed him.
He was a worthy adversary.
Yeah, he was worthy.
So the EME was a worthy adversary.
Yeah, EME was a worthy adversary. I never knew no punk EME. You know what I mean? I don't want to say I knew some punk ABs, but you know, I never knew no punk ABs either, except the 2 I stabbed. No. Yeah, the 2 I stabbed.
Was there like even though if you guys couldn't get at each other, was there a respect amongst the EME back then?
There was between some. You know, some there was respect, and others it was just, you know, farmero, you know, and what have you, you know. But yeah, it's between the older guys. You know, the guys that had been around. You know, they done time together. You know, knew each other. You know, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, there was a respect.
Didn't you have a worked out agreement with one EME back in the 70s?
Yeah. There was we got out, and they had Dakota and A Street in Hayward. I mean, selling heroin, and so we could be shooting at each other. We had the rest of the Bay Area. You know, we were in Oakland, we were in other parts of Hayward. We were all over the Bay Area. You know,
that's 2 of the best known hoods in the East Bay right there.
Yeah.
Dakota and A Street.
Yeah. So.
Well, if you read in Gabe Morales' book, I think it was, I want to say that it says that one time A Street was actually Sureños, and they turned back to being Norteños. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know about Sureños, but I know that that what I said is I met with him and I said, look, we can sit here and hunt each other. You know, we can send our soldiers after each other. You know, or you can just have this and stay out of here, and we'll have this. You know what I mean? And we'll worry about each other down the road. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, sure, sounds good. You know what I mean? We'll make our money. You guys will make your money. You know. Later on down the road, like Miguel Toro Garza, you know, big Toro, got a Hayward. Actually, he was from Dakota.
He was Toto.
Yeah, Toro, big Garza, Miguel, the boxer. Yeah, he was a professional. He was a boxer, man. He knocked me out.
I heard that name.
Up.
What was he? What was he?
He was NF.
NF, right?
Yeah, he knocked me out and woke me up. You know, I used to box him, and the first time I boxed him, because nobody wanted to fight him because he was terror. You know what I mean? Big old heavyweight. He hit me with one punch, knocked me out, hit me with another one, and woke me back up. You know, I'm serious. I swear to God. You know. And I was like, dang. I said, hey, brother. You know. I said, man, no. You know. This guy had killer in him. You know what I mean? And Miguel Toro. Somebody was saying, give a shout out for Toro. Toro is he was a hog, man. You know, he could have been a professional boxer. You know, he was good. You know, and the only one that boxed him is me. You know, and because I box. You know.
What about Joker?
Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was something. You know, in his day he was something, but he started losing his mind. You know, I don't know what happened to him, man. He started getting dementia early. I think because somebody busted him upside the head with a weight, you know, and an EME, you know, I got him. I think they hit him with a weight in the head or something like that, and almost killed him. But he came back from it, and he was never the same after that. You know, his last years, he wasn't all there. You know, I liked him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a good brother. You know. But he wasn't all there.
There's been a lot of debate about Mundo's claims that the NF was only able to take out one confirmed MA member.
Even Mundo himself verified other kills of NF on mafiosos. So that doesn't even make any sense. He himself has verified it. So no, that's not true. That's definitely not true. I don't know why Mundo wants to say that. I don't know. You know, I'm not calling him no liar. I'm saying we killed more, you know, and not just on the streets, but in the penitentiaries and jails too, you know. So I know, you know. So no, those Cheyenne was not the only one. I will say this: that Cheyenne never should have been killed. You know, that hit shouldn't have ever went down. You know, that was wrong. You know.
Do you think his idea would have caught along with our people back then about stopping the violence, and you think it had potential?
It had potential, yes. You got to remember that the NF and MF were one at one point. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the guys that had split off were still, you know, around. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it had definitely had potential. You know, that hit shouldn't have went down. You know. He was on the verge of but you know, I got to tell you this. Procunier, who was the director of corrections back then, wrote a paper about the Mexican American inmate population, that they must never be allowed to unite. You know what I mean? And with so many words, he was saying, encourage the split and the war between them. They cannot be allowed to unite. Because if these guys ever unite and become radical, they're going to kill cops all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
both treacherous organizations.
Yeah. You know, so that's why they were afraid, and that's why they fostered the war. You know, they encouraged it. Like I said, they rotated us.
I've heard that they wanted to keep this conflict going on.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
I mean, I seen that on someone else's. I think it was the Outlaw News or something. Did a couple episodes on that.
Well, you figure each group dominated whatever place they had a stronghold on. Imagine if they worked together to dominate. There's nothing that could stop the Latinos in prison in California, period.
Couldn't have.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no even debating it.
Even today, if somehow or another somebody would rise up, get everybody together and slap all around and get them to pay attention and say, look, there's plenty of pie. You know, everybody can get a piece of the pie. Just everybody's got to play by the rules.
Yeah, you don't got to be friends. You just got to coexist.
Yeah, just got to play by the rules, man. But you know, you give somebody who's never had nothing something, and they don't know how to act. You know, and that's the problem. Believe it or not, a lot of people have never really had something, and when they get something, they don't know what to do with it. That includes power. You know what I mean? And money. You know what I mean? Different thing is they don't know how to act. They don't know what to do, and it corrupts them. You know what I mean? You gotta have it's like you almost got to go to college for this crap. You know what I mean?
That's what it was in Pelican Bay. That was
Yeah.
our college, you know. I got fortunate. I got to land next door to Tibbs, so I got to learn a lot that, people been around 10, 15 years might not know. You know? So I was fortunate like that. But man, Pelican Bay, that's all we did all day was nonstop education and all kinds of concepts and.
You got to be able to look down the road.
Yeah.
You got to be able to look to the future.
You got to change with the times.
Yeah. You got to look at what's ahead, and you got to see what the trend is, where the money's at.
Yeah.
What are the obstacles? What are the pitfalls?
Yeah, I remember when I got out in '96, man. They were telling me about armored truck robberies. I'm like, man, you can't really do that no more, bro. You could get the guy coming out of the damn truck. That's about it, though, man. As far as taking down a whole truck in the Bay Area with the technology, man, you guys haven't been on the street since the 70s. Everybody and their mom is going to be video recording you, putting your license plate on Facebook, and the damn Megan's Law signs they got on the side of the freeway, your license plate will be on there, too.
Yeah.
It's just you guys can't do that no more. We're not in the 70s no more, guys.
No, we're not. And, technology being what it is, it's like...
Got to adapt.
Yeah. You got to go where the cash is, and pretty soon that's why they're trying to get away from cash.
Yeah. They want to be able to trace every single dollar.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're going to do that because organized crime would be saying, hey, wait a minute, we don't want you to do that, I'm not talking about all of organized crime because...
not just the criminals, but the legal criminals, too.
Legal criminals. The Bushes. Yeah. But...
It was good.
Like the Bushes are the biggest drug dealers in the world, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
we're only talking opinions.
Yeah, talking opinions, folks.
None of this is verified.
Yeah, don't get feelings hurt. Yeah. I would hate to see you guys get your feelings hurt. The MN, I got nothing but respect for them. I never met no MN that was punks. I never met no ABs except for those two that were punks. I mean, you couldn't be a punk back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, nowadays, I got to take that back now to sit there and say in the 90s and 2000s, I met a lot of people that were not. It was like, but then again, all of them, it's like, what the hell happened? They stopped making real people. I mean, it's like the caliber. You know what I mean?
Each generation is lost.
Yeah, it's like
they haven't gained, unfortunately.
Yeah, like either you're with the business or you're not with the business, man. And a lot of people got in for a lot of the wrong reasons in the 90s and 2000s, and a lot of wrong people got in. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You're not going to have another Tibbs. You're not going to have another Pinky. These guys they're cut from a cloth. You know what I mean? You're not going to have another Sundown. Right? And I don't mean that like I'm all that. I'm just saying.
No, that's just reality, though.
Yeah, reality.
Those times are gone.
Yeah, those days are gone. That cloth that we were cut from. Those days. Like I said, we grew up on The Godfather. Is the best way I could put it. I'd like to say that, we grew up believing in that. Like the people that for me, not all of them, but the majority of the people that I was with and in the Nuestra Familia were loyal. They believed in it. And we practiced cardinalismo. You know what I mean? something happened in the 80s, man. I don't know what the hell happened. You know, things started changing in the 80s, man.
Shoe programs didn't help.
No, you know, when they what they did was they gave everybody a bunch of stuff. Here, you know, record players, TVs, CD players, all this stuff, family visits. Now we can take that all away from you. And everybody, oh no, don't take it away from us. You know, we want that. You know, we'll do anything you say. You know, before we didn't have nothing. I remember my property was a little pencil. You know, that was all the property you had. That and some state tobacco. You know, here's my property. Let's go. You know, when I first came into prison. You know what I mean? You know, now when they gave everybody all this stuff and they threatened to take that stuff from them, you know, unless they
Conformed.
conformed, you know, that's what happened there, you know. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, give them all that stuff. Give it all to them. Now turn around and threaten to take it from them. I was like, take it all. You know. I was always on strip cell anyway from discipline.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Pelican Bay let us have TV, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, we even had our discipline was something too. That's another thing too, our discipline. You know, but like literally, we even had people on cell arrest. You know, and strip cell. You know, you get all the way down to strip cell. You know, took everything out of your cell. They figured it out one day. They come by and they said, "Hey, you know what we're doing wrong with Sundown? We're taking everything but his mirror." They said, "Take his mirror."
Yeah, prisoners got a lot of rights nowadays. No doubt about it. All right, YouTube, man, we're going to end this episode, and we got one or two more topics to discuss, and we're going to be going live as well. You'll obviously see the live before you see this video, but hey, I'm telling you anyway. But this is your boy Rojo, Convicts Perspective. Flacco's in the house, and you know Mr. Sundown. We appreciate him.
How you doing, folks?
We'll get right back to you with another one.